vanity-inspired digital simulation, validated and endorsed, of course, by a bevy of showbiz and sports-oriented celebutypes. Day-to-day reality, yeah, right. Prepare for all of your 64-inch plasma screens to be shattered and scattered to the four corners of the earth. Plan to be peeled like a banana, stripped of your best ever dogmatic imaginings and callously tossed out of your statistically based, strategically demographic comfort zone. Watch in horror as your media-spun cocoon begins to unwind, turns you inside out as you suddenly lose the blessed sanctuary of that deceptively protected womb. Together we must open up our eyes to the tarnished skies, all battleship gray, stretching as far as any horizon dares. Below, a blighted and leafless landscape sprawls like a bloated corpse. It's purposely scarred by a crazy quilt grid of endless highways, city streets, strip malls, pipelines, railroad tracks, rivers, dams, subterranean mines, and the occasional eroded canal. Then and now, the plan to spin an invisible web, bring together even the most isolated of communities worldwide, springs to life. Not connecting is not an option. A polka dot cell tower invasion is destined to displace the hand-tailored fabric of a once close-knit nation. Truth and transparency rarely found in the multi-filament weave of these new and treacherous technological times. Today we are being herded like chattel, corralled in a collection of above-the-ground cemeteries, gritty little communities choked with couch potato citizens consuming everything received via our virtual feeding tubes. Severely malnourished bodies and fatty acid brains struggle to comprehend the gifts of life we once possessed. Caramel-coated popcorn and party politics placate the masses, offer sugary platitudes and the obligatory prize inside. We readily acquiesce to this hardwired absurdity. These are the promises of eternal internet connectivity, for a small monthly fee, of course. Some talk of a reasonable living wage, cheap, toxin-free bottled drinking water, and more credit at the end of the next best checkout line. We wait breathlessly while the NRA and the NSA quietly move to circumvent common sense and or any past tense sense of humanity. Bank of America bankrupts the country, politicians promote another war, Drew Brees takes a knee in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, and we love to watch the game. Suffice it to say, there is a world out there beyond the propaganda. It can easily be reduced to a spinning sphere, a revolving globe of capitalist-sanctioned industrial espionage and rampant corruption, people and real estate bought and sold in so-called free markets by way of ancestral wealth, barbarism, legislative legalese, or any other absolute and binding contract. Intercontinental battles and hostile corporate takeovers planned and executed from think tank bunkers, underground and safe from any impending fallout, our aristocratic counterparts free from flying debris, man-made or inherent in random acts of nature or in state-sanctioned violence. Meanwhile, computer-driven minions scour the planet, pillage the earth in the name of God and the greater profits. The media and the mindset of billions to be purposefully manipulated, squeezed like turnips, plunging the bloody tip of the human pyramid deep into the ground. In the real world, the powers that be are amassing unstoppable armies, an arsenal of state-of-the-art weaponry, and using a multitude of monetary loopholes significant and sophisticated enough to rule the day. We can only hope to rise up and turn the tide, although most of us are not quite that awake. In reality, we are but pawns in their sport. We are the sickly children propped up on our pillows, sitting alone in our dimly lit rooms, playing out our fantasies via high-resolution video games. We envision ourselves as fearless avatars. We pretend to be powerful wizards and mighty warriors. We hide behind our dreams. We truly believe that we will be granted cool spells, badass weapons, and our superhuman powers, just enough to survive one more year, one more month, one more week, one more day, one more hour. Few realize that this is not our actual countenance. These are simply the digitally enhanced alter egos we are allowed to see and use, at least for the present. In truth, this is the visage of servitude, the true uncensored view, the big picture that never was meant to be, and as such, it is, of course, the most deceptive aspect of our collective take on all things that we call reality.
I completely knew that. Yeah, I need to bust out my piece. I need to. Okay. So due to the length of